After getting to a good ready position, our first move of our bat back towards the ball is very important because it sets the course or the path of the bat through the strike zone. A good first move will give us the ability to adjust to the different speeds and locations of the pitch. Once we are in a good hitting position, what you'll see is this back elbow start to work down like it was going to skip a rock or turn a double play. It will start down, our hips will start into rotation. You'll see it pick up this front elbow, which will work very much like the first move of a frisbee, which enables our hands to work down the line of the pitch and for our sweet spot of our bat to stay down the path of the ball for as long as possible.
It is critical that we start from a good ready position, with our hands even or inside our front elbow. In this example, you will see Bobby Abreu's hands start about even with his front elbow and will remain that way for just a few clicks or a few inches as his elbow works directly back towards the pitcher. This is considered his first move. This correct first move is how we set ourselves up to make efficient adjustments and have the ability to swing through the ball. At this point, Abreu appears to be able to hit or adjust to any pitches inside this window. In this example, we're going to use Mike Sweeney, and we're going to look at his first move. And when we talk about the first move, we're talking about the first few inches that this front elbow moves. We do not want this to be an exaggerated move. It's just how we start to set up our swing, or our swing path. As you can see, his hands are still even or inside this front elbow, and it appears as if he can adjust or hit anything in this box. In this example, we'll use Carlos Beltran, and you can see that he starts with his hands well inside his elbow. And as we step it forward, you're going to see this elbow work directly out towards the pitcher. In his first move, you will see from this angle that it's working back towards the pitcher. His hands still remain inside his elbow. And this gives him the ability to release those angles and hit right through the ball.
When we refer to the first move, we're talking about literally the very first few inches that this arm moves forward. It's just like we would throw a frisbee, you would see the elbow lead, then the hand release. It's the same thing in a baseball swing. The elbow will start back at the pitcher, and then we will release our hands and the bat to the location of the pitch. With a frisbee, we wouldn't just take our hand outside the elbow. We would lead with the elbow and then release the hand. A common phrase that we hear in baseball all the time is staying inside the ball. But by that definition, it's self-evident that if I'm going to hit a ball 28 inches to 30 inches away from my hands, that my hands have to be inside. So by that definition, this would be staying inside the ball, even though my bat plane is coming across the line of the pitch. A better definition of staying inside the ball is that your first move is that your hand stays even or inside this front elbow so that all adjustments are made from the inside to the outside. If it's an inside pitch, if I start back and my hand stays even or inside the front elbow, I can hang on to that angle and hit in a very big zone on an inside pitch. Same thing if I make that same first move and the ball is away or down, I can release the angle in this elbow, then release the head of the hammer into that nail and make that adjustment. If we prepare for the up and in pitch, if I prepare to hit the up and in pitch, all adjustments are easy. Away, if my first move is here, down and away, or up and in. If I have a bad first move, or I'm trying to pull this up and in pitch, there's no really good way or efficient way to adjust to that outside pitch. If I prepare to hit this up and in pitch, all adjustments become very easy. If it is up and in, I can hit through a big zone, keeping my hands, my elbow above my hands above the barrel, and the barrel can travel down the line of the pitch. The same first move, the first 3 inches, if it's away, it's very easy for me to swing the bat and make the adjustment to the outside pitch. So the end result is there's no way to hit in a big zone and adjust from the outside to the inside. But there is a way to hit in a big zone, hitting from the inside and adjusting to the outside. Again, so the real definition of staying inside the ball to me means that my hand stays inside my elbow for that first few inches as we go to make the adjustment to the pitch. A common mistake, once we are in a good hitting position, is to take our hands outside our elbow as our first move. If I go out here, I can no longer make the adjustment to the outside pitch or the inside pitch. If I try to make an adjustment in, I'm pulling my elbows against my body and making a very inefficient adjustment. If my hands pop out here, I really can't adjust to the away pitch. I'd have to push the bat out there. If my first move with this arm is like a frisbee, I can just release the angle in my front elbow and release out to the outside pitch. So it would look like this. If I start right here as my first move, if the ball is away, I can very easily make the adjustment to the outside pitch. If my first move, again, is right here and the ball stays inside, I can make that adjustment and stay right down the line of the pitch. If the ball is up, here's my first move. All I do is just keep my bat trailing along the plane of the pitch, keeping my elbow above my hands and my hands above the barrel. If the ball is down, here's the very first move. It's only about 2 or 3 inches with this front arm, but I can adjust down to the pitch there and stay along the line of the pitch, enabling me to hit in a big zone and make the adjustments that I need to make for the speed and location of that pitch. A common problem that we see in the first move are students taking the knob of the bat straight to the ball. Students take it literally where they take the knob to the ball, or their hands, and they come right outside the elbow. Once my hand gets outside this elbow, the only place this elbow can go is really across my body, which means my hand has to go across my body, which means that the sweet spot of my bat is going to be coming across the plane of the pitch. If we do it correctly, it's like a frisbee move. You'll see the elbow go back towards the pitcher, and now we'll make the adjustment to the location of the pitch. The same analogy can be made with the top hand also. If my first move is over the top, or if my shoulder's pulling off and my hands are popping outside my elbow, I'm going to be hitting in a very small zone. Same thing if I'm starting to swing down. You can see how short the head of the hammer is on line with that pitch. If I start back like I'm going to skip a rock and I keep my hands above the line of the pitch or the plane of the pitch, I can release the head of the hammer down the line and hit in a very big zone. The analogy we use in the first move to help students understand, with the back arm, it's going to be just like we were getting ready to throw a ball sidearm or skip a rock off the top of the mound. With the front arm, it's very similar to the very first move we would make to throw a frisbee, where the elbow moves back towards the pitcher, then we release the hands. We would never throw a frisbee hands first. We would always lead with the elbow, then release the hands. It would look like this. It is just the very first move that we want to see that is like a frisbee. It's that move where the elbow goes out, and then we will release our hands. With the back arm, it's going to be just like we were going to throw a ball sidearm off the top of the mound. We lead back with the elbow. So once we get to a good position, we just let the elbow lead. Another drill that we use is we interlock our fingers like a golf grip. And we do the same motion. We get ready to throw and finish this way, letting it roll off our fingers so that our hands are traveling down the line of the pitch. A great way to illustrate the importance of the first move is to use the analogy of a hammer and a nail. Here I've got a rubber mallet with about a 20-inch handle on it. In baseball, the ball always comes in at a downward angle of about 7 to 10 degrees. So if we were going to go to hammer a nail, we would never swing down at it to try to drive the nail in. We would want to take our elbow back towards the pitcher and release the head of the hammer underneath our hands and make solid contact with that nail. The first move, if my first move is my hand outside my elbow, I'm going to be hammering that nail in a very small zone or bending the nail. If my elbow starts back towards the pitcher, I can make adjustments to the speed and the location of the pitch very easily. If I get outside or I swing down at it, I'm only on line with that nail for a very short time or hitting in a small zone. If my first move is out here, I can no longer adjust efficiently to the outside pitch or the up pitch or the down pitch. If I start here, my first move, those first 3 inches, is right here, I can stay on plane for the inside pitch. There's my first 3 inches. I can adjust out very efficiently and smooth. If the ball is up after my first move, I just keep my hands moving up and out through the plane of the pitch. If the ball is down, I just release this angle down to the ball. If I do it in slow motion, I'll let you see how long the head of this hammer stays on line with this pitch. There's my first move. I start releasing. I'm already on plane with that pitch. I can continue it all the way out through here. On plane with that pitch. If I go this way, I'm only on plane for a very short time or hitting in a small zone. I have to have perfect timing. If I swing down at it in this fashion, or if my first move is my hand getting outside my elbow, I can no longer hit in a big zone. To do the demonstration with my top hand, It's very similar to the bottom. I'm going to start back. My elbow's going to start back just like I'm skipping a rock. If the ball is inside, I stay right down the plane of the pitch. If the pitch is away, I start back the same way, and all I do is release the angle out to the pitch. If the ball is up, I'm going to start back this way. I'm just going to keep taking my hands up, keeping my hands above the plane of the pitch so that the barrel can release underneath it and down the line of the pitch. If I start back and the ball starts to break away or it's on the outside part of the pitch, all I'm going to do is release that angle and make the adjustment to the outside pitch. But it's a smooth, fluid, efficient adjustment. The first 3 inches are going to be the same. We start our swing the same way, and then we make the adjustment to the speed and location of the pitch. If I swing down on the ball, this way, where my elbow stays down, there's no way that I can take the head of the hammer efficiently down the line. If I swing down, I'm hitting in a very small zone. I want my hands traveling out through the plane of the pitch so that I can have the head of the hammer going down the line of the pitch.